5 o'clock on the East Coast in these United States, and we are live. And let's see if we've got good audio here. Try to pull this up on the iPad, my trusty iPad, to make sure everything is copacetic. And it is good. And this is a double boot show. So, of course, we don't have the chipmunk voice. And I would have been about a minute early, but my buddy called, like 1 minute to 5, the one that always calls before the show, right? And that always knows that I go live at 5. We got to get him a watch. We got to get him a timepiece so that he knows what time it is. In any event, I would have been about a minute early, but that killed a minute. It's not the end of the world. I learned something today. I never really thought about linen sheets, buying linen sheets. And he bought some linen sheets. Of course, he bought them at Target. Who knows what the quality of them, what the quality's like, right? But in any event, it is something that I'm going to look into, because this shirt is a linen shirt. This is by Kenneth Gordon, their heirloom collection. Matter of fact, I'll pull it up on the computer here. And before I do that, here's Steve wearing the gold stunner with his faux pay bracelet. That's a photo we showed the other day. But I'm a big fan of linen. I do like linen. I like linen shorts. I've got several pairs of linen shorts. I've got a couple of linen shirts. This is my favorite. But it's something to think about. Linen sheets. Linen sheets. So here is the shirt in question that I'm wearing right now. And this could be the fire shirt. This could be the shirt that I grab if the place is on fire and I just want to grab a shirt. That might be the one. I do like this shirt. It's just super comfortable. It has held up great over the years. It's been laundered several times. Probably been laundered a dozen times since I've had it. And it's held up great. And so, linen sheets. Do any of y'all have linen sheets? Have any of y'all gone that direction? I've usually bought fairly high quality Egyptian cotton sheets, long staple Egyptian cotton sheets, fairly tightly woven. And I've gotten pretty good service out of them. But linen is a more durable fabric. I wonder if it would feel rougher on your skin. Some people say they have to break in linen sheets. But let me know what you guys think about that. And Tim Masso is in the chat. It's a fact that the 002 is finished to a higher standard than Patek Calatrava and contains a much more advanced movement. There you go. So I posted, it's funny because that's one of the things I was going to talk about in this show. I posted in Tim's Facebook group, and about the 002 Stunner being just an amazing dress watch, probably the finest dress watch ever conceived by man. And somebody challenged it. Somebody challenged me in there and said the finishing wasn't any good. And we're going to look at some photos. I think the finishing is damn good. I mean, maybe if you look at it with a 30x loop, like the back of it or something. Kyle, let me know. You're in the chat. You saw one in person. What did you think about the finishing? The finishing of the 002 Stunner. What did you think about that? And I made the point, I said, I think it's stunning, and the clasp is extremely useful, the deployant clasp. The whole watch in particular is super, super comfortable on wrist. It's a joy to wear. Now, I get the impression that some of the people that were commenting about it were used to having box watches. Watches that are in the box as opposed to on the wrist. I get that impression. So, and I'm trying to get this to load up here. I may or may not have luck. Okay, here we go. Let me see if I can find this comment. Give me a second here. I'll try to find it. Should have done this in advance, right? Here it is. Here it is. I found it. I found it. Bear with me here. We'll look at it. We'll do this in real time. This is Talking Time with Tim Masso. Okay. And where is the, here, I think this is the post. Yeah, this is the post in question. And view one more comment. Here's my comment. Okay, so I said I sold my Snowflake. For me, the sweet spot for an all-around watch is in the 36 to 39 millimeter size. I ended up going for the SBGY002. Grand Seiko has recently come out with several models in the under 40 millimeter size range. And this gentleman responded, he said, Craig, it's awesome, but I somewhat prefer SBGA 292/092 Snowflake, enhanced accuracy of 9R15 movement, 39 millimeter size, and 100 millimeter water resistance. In my opinion, that manual model is at best special occasion watch for me. Even so, I do vastly prefer a Lange 1815 up down or Bart Gronfeld 1941 Principe. I have no idea what that watch is. Those just come with slightly superior case and movement finishing. GS is pretty good at those two aspects, but it's still not as good as them. And let's see. I replied, I said, have you seen the 002 in person? It's amazing, and the spring drive puts it in a class by itself. In my opinion, it's the perfect dress watch, more robust than any other option, stunning on wrist with a great deployant class that makes it practical for daily use. The icing on the cake is the amazing Snowflake dial. He responded, of course, in other words, he's seen it, which is why I give a fair assessment that it is or isn't. Snowflake dial is undeniably amazing. I just prefer it in models with robust 100 meter rather than a measly 30 meter water resistance. Movement finishing is also somewhat lacking for its asking price. And I responded, I don't swim with my dress watch. I have the SBGA231 diver for that. Teach their own, I guess. And that was it. That was the end of the discussion. So, I mean, my eyes aren't perfect. I'm the first to admit it, but this watch is stunning. It is stunning. I don't know of anything as in the way of finishing that I would want to improve. I don't know of anything that I would change. And so I guess his standards are just a lot higher than mine. But for a watch to actually wear and use, I don't know. I cannot fathom having anything any more striking and any more stunning than this on wrist. Maybe it exists, but I can't fathom that. Let's see. Let's see here. Carlos is in the house, and Durr says, and we are live. Tudor, Biden, Harris. Okay. Absolutely, Durr, says Kyle. Harris, what a dog. Greetings, Craig, from Cheetown. Willie Brown knows about how bad Kamala sucks. Okay. Obama, Biden, and Harris have plastic sheets because they all shit the bed. Uh-oh, that's a shame. Kyle's in the house. The finishing is amazing. I'd like to know what they think is better. I hear you, Kyle, and you've got better eyes than me, and you looked at it. I think you're a straight-up gentleman. I don't think you exaggerate. Cheetown's in the house. You want to actually use your watch, Craig? What are you, nuts? Kevin D says, Craig, would you purchase a 30-year-old Rolex? Sent email. Okay, we'll take a look at the email. I would consider it, but I'd kind of rather have a 6-digit, I think. I'd like one of the newer models, I think. But we'll take a look and we'll talk about it. Let's see. R. Wags is in the house. Kevin's in the house. The 002 needs a black dial. There is a black dial version. That's even more money. Let's see here. Titled SBGY002. Being that it's gold, don't you think it's soft and would damage easily? No, no, no. I wore 18 karat gold watches for 40 years, and they hold up great. They'll get a patina, they'll get some dings and little scratches and things like that. This wedding ring, right, has been beat around a lot, right? It's 18 karat gold. It's held up fine. 18 karat gold is pretty robust. Let's take a look. Right? And here's the watch. There, see, there's a little tiny scratch at the 6 o'clock position, little tiny one. See it catching the light? That's the first scratch that I actually notice on the watch. Yeah, you'll get some little things here and there, but I mean, it's fine. They still look fine. Any watch you wear is going to get some scratches on it. That's just going to happen. But over time, it just kind of gets an overall patina. Just go on eBay and look at some older 18 karat gold watches and see what they look like. They look fine. R. Wags has one that he wears a lot, his Date 8. How often, let us know in the chat, R. Wags, how often do you wear your Date 8? I saw it at Steve's event, and it looked fantastic. So let's see how long he's worn his, and it's held up great. It's 18 karat yellow gold. This is a myth that people have out there that 18 karat yellow gold doesn't hold up. In my opinion, it looks better with wear and tear than a steel watch. An older steel watch with a bunch of dings and scratches and stuff just looks like a steel watch with a bunch of dings and scratches. An older gold watch with a bunch of dings and scratches looks eat up with class. So there you go. That's my opinion on that. Let's see. I don't really care for A-Lang since I don't particularly like those converted pocket watch looking cases and lugs. I agree with you. I like Saxonia thin though. Okay. I don't care at all for Lange, just overpriced German-made watch. Leon's in the house. 18 karat gold holds up 10 million times better than the economy would under a Biden presidency. And Durr has an 18 karat gold Date 8. I don't know how often he wears it though. I see him wearing a bunch of crappers instead of the Date 8. He should just wear the Date 8 and call it a day. Literally call it a day, right? He's going to know what day it is if he's got that on. That's a good thing. A Date 8 and call it a day. How do you like that? Let's see here. Leon's in the house. A 30-year-old Rolex is good if it's serviced and at least has the cursed rotor axle replaced. Seriously, Rolex is still using that setup. My OP needs a new rotor axle as the rotor is scraping the back. Okay. Let's see. The only thing more stunning than 18 karat gold on wrist is Rachel Smith and the former Miss Maryland. There you go. I got you there. Let's see. Cheetown says, I prefer Patek Philippe over A-Lang because Patek cases have a better flowing lines to them. I agree with that. Mr. Q, I can only tolerate gold on a strap. A gold bracelet would remind me of snorting powder on a... There you go. You've been spending too many vacations in Metro Miami-Dade. Let's see. I wore the Date 8 I wore the Date 8 2 days ago when I went out for a fancy steak dinner. There you go. Brief at Dance says, I've been practicing the hoop, but not like Audrey yet. Okay, good. Good. Well, you keep practicing. You'll get there. Forget about Rachel. Rachel might be doing a show. I've been talking to her about doing a show. I don't know. She's just everywhere. She's all over the place. Believe it or not, she has 5 kids, and the schools are closed. So figure that. Riddle that. Let's see. Deport TGV says he forgot about okay. 2 decades ago. Okay. All right. Now let's take a look. Let's take a look at the 002. Before I move, there's the Heirloom Collection Kenneth Gordon shirt. That's the one I'm wearing right now, in case anybody wants to get something similar to it. That would be a move. Let's see. SBGY002. Let's do a search. Let's pull up the photos. We'll pull up the photos here, folks. I have an open mind. I have an open mind here. Pull up the photos. Okay. So here's some photos. Here's the 002 with a money clip. Let's look at that. Let's look at the 002 with the money clip. And let's look at view all sizes. Let's look at this size here. All right, here we go. This is going to be kind of close, folks. Kind of close. See the patina the money clip gets? See, it's got a patina to it. It looks fine. Now that's 14 karat gold. Okay, so now here's the watch. I think it looks pretty stunning. I think it looks pretty stunning, folks. So that's Exhibit A. All right, Exhibit A. Now let's go to Exhibit B. Let's go to Exhibit B. Let's find the back of the watch here. Give me a moment here. We will find it. It's what we do. It's the only thing we do. Okay, let's find the back of this puppy. I'll let you see what I'm scrolling through. I'll let you see what I'm scrolling through. There's Steve with the faux pay bracelet. Okay, here's some back shots. Now, there's a better back shot than that. Let me find it here. Here's one getting closer, getting closer. Maybe this one. This one's more flat on. All right, it's a little bit dark, but we'll look at that anyway. Okay, we're going to say view all sizes. We're going to say we want to see this one. Let's get in pretty close on this puppy. Let's get in pretty close. See, those are specks of dust. Those have nothing to do with the finishing. Okay, here we go. And again, it's a little bit underexposed, but looks pretty freaking good to me. Looks pretty good to me. We need better macro shots is what we need. But here's the thing. If you have to look at an extreme macro level to find any issues, to me those are non-issues. You know, you could take this to the absolute extreme. Now, their $70,000 watch, I understand, is finished to a slightly higher standard than this one, right? So if you want to step up to the $70,000 puppy, then that can work. Okay. What about Kent? Yeah, we got to get Kent back on the show. You guys seem to want Kent back on the show. We'll try to do that. Did Rachel adopt all of them? No, she actually had them. Craig, what do you think of someone having an Explorer 39 and a yellow gold Day-Date as a 2-watch rotation? I think that would work if they have a big enough wrist. If they, the Explorer 39, I'd want a decent sized wrist to wear that. But yeah, 7.25 inch, like about the size of my wrist, because this is a 38.5 mil watch, right? And this fits fine, I think. But on a smaller wrist, below 7-inch wrist, I don't think so. But 7-inch or above, yeah, I think you can get away with a 39 mil. I think you can. And the Day-Date, I would definitely want the Day-Date to be a 36 mil. I just think the 40 looks clunky. I just don't. Some people swear by it, but I just think the 40 looks a little bit too much. Let's see. For 5 kids, Rachel looks better than perfect. Yeah, there you go. Absolutely. Our Wags is in the house. With my watch rotation, I wear the 18-karat Rolex Day-Date about 3 times a week. Wear an 18-karat Rolex Oyster Perpetual with an alligator strap on the other days. The gold still looks great and shiny for 35-year-old watches. There you go. Our Wags with the stunning rotation. He's not playing games. He's a serious guy. Mr. Q's in the house. Is Bree sporting her Rolex yet? Or does the selection committee still have more public hearings before the vote? Yes, she has not. She does not have a watch yet. Let's see here. What model is your Day-Date, R-Wags? He has an 1807, I believe. I believe he has an 1807. He'll correct me if I'm wrong. That's the bark finish date 8. Let's see, Durs House. I have a decent amount of scrap gold laying around. I'm considering melting down. I just don't know if I want a money clip or a ring made out of it. Well, you're going to have about an ounce worth to get a decent money clip made. Mine is a little over an ounce. I think mine's like 1.1 ounce. On my video, I show me weighing it. Now that's 14 karat, right? So 1.1 ounce or whatever of 14 karat. So it might be, what, 2/3 of an ounce of actual gold, right? Once they make it into 14, you see what I'm saying there? But anyway, it's a good weight to it. That's the key with the money clip. You want it to be nice and thick so it holds its shape and has a nice weight to it to keep it down in your pocket. It's really the way to go. I have a sterling silver money clip from Tiffany's that's a lot lighter weight, and that's not the way to go in my opinion. It works, but it's not the way to go. All right, I got some emails to check here, and I will check them. Thanks, Kyle. I was about your age when I started wearing gold Rolex watches. Traded a couple of times to improve my collection. Okay, he sent an email of a rare vintage Datejust 36. We're gonna look at that. Why not get an 18 karat hammer made to bash a Tudor with? Biggest waste of money, a 24 karat gold Apple Watch Series 3. I don't think they were 24. I think they were 18 karat. Let's see, maybe an 18 karat gold wrench. Leslie's in the house. We haven't seen her for a while, and she sent an email. All right, we got to get on these emails. We're getting backed up. Getting backed up on the comments. Getting backed up. I need a producer. I need a show producer is what I need. That's what I need. I need a professional. I need a professional. From Deport TGV, that's a good-looking picture there. And a good-looking piece. I like that. Whoa, look at that. On a NATO heavy-use piece. Somebody's getting creative. All right, I like that. Somebody is getting creative. And here's a link to a watch on Chrono 24. I'll show you once I load it in here. There we go. That is kind of interesting with that green dial. That's kind of interesting. The problem with a 5-digit is a lot of these are going to have solid. The end links are not going to be solid and stuff like that. I don't mind the stamped clasp as much, but I do like solid end links. And I just think a 6-digit unit would be more serviceable. But I do like that dial. It's kind of catchy. Kind of different too. Yeah, kind of different. All right, and let's see what Leslie's got. Oh, no, this is Lance. I'm sorry. This is Lance. We're going to take a look at. All right. He picks out some nice older pieces. I like that bezel. I really do. But see how those end links have like gaps between them and the case and stuff? I mean, they just didn't quite do it right? And of course that's got some stretch. Not terrible amount of stretch though. Not insane. I mean, it's not a hateful piece at all. I do like those older dials. I think they're really classy looking. That's a classy looking piece. Now, does Rolex have all the parts for something like this to service it and service it right? See, that's the issue I would start getting into on some of these older pieces. Is it might get to the point where Rolex doesn't have all the parts and isn't willing to do their thing with it. And people say, well, just have an independent watch guy service it. That's okay, but I've had good experience in the past with just sending a watch to Rolex and it comes back like freaking new. So I don't know. I have some misgivings about an older watch like that. I do like the red, the date in red. I think that kind of pops. It's kind of very classic looking. Let's see. Cheetown. Oh, Leslie sent something. Leslie sent something. Let me get on that. Because she's a VIP. She's a VIP. A California VIP. Okay. All right. And so there we go. Omega DeVille. 22 mil. 18 karat gold and gold dial. So I guess it's two-tone. It's kind of neat looking. Kind of classy looking. Looks like it's in good shape, too. Very trim. Of course, I'm pretty sure it's a quartz, right? See, solid, nice solid end links. I think it's cool. I think it's cool. So it's $1,300, and they're going to charge $34 to ship it, and it's in the UK. Yeah, it's not cheap, right? But it's not expensive either. It's kind of like right in there somewhere. Let's see. All right. I said Explorer 39 because I'm in mixed company, aka who doesn't particularly like non-gold 36 millimeter Rolexes. Kyle says that's awesome. I would love a gold Rolex, but I'm happy with the one I have for the time being. The day-date would be really cool. Tyler's in the house. I just got an SBGX261 for $1169 and don't like the bracelet. Any recommend on nice straps, 19 millimeter. Tyler in the house. And man, HD straps made my strap here for this. This is 19 millimeters. HDstraps.com. HDstraps.com. He can cobble up some amazing straps for you and very reasonable, I think. And out of any kind of leather you can pretty much think of. So yeah, I would definitely contact him. Now, if you want to get a deployant clasp, a Grand Seiko deployant clasp, I think you can snag one of those on eBay. So you might want to snag one of those first and then order the straps to go on the deployant, because I highly recommend a deployant clasp. It makes it just much easier to put the watch on and off, and I think it's the way to go. Durr's in the house. If I could have pulled off the cost difference, I would have definitely got the day-date 40 over the 36. The 40 millimeter day-date wears very well. Okay. I haven't tried one on, so I'll be honest with you. I haven't tried one on, but I just love the size of the 36. Our Wags is in the house. Craig is correct. 1807. I believe he had one like it at one time. Actually, I had looked at them. I never actually locked and loaded on one, but I had looked at them back in the day. I did have a white gold day-date once just because I got such a good buy on it. And then I did resell that. But I had an 1803 with a conventional clasp on it. It was about a 1966 model, 1803. That was my first day-date. Let's see, Deport TGV. Eric from CRM Jewelers had a 36 millimeter present for a short while, but sold it because his buddies were poking fun at him for wearing a lady's watch. Oh well, his mistake. Kevin's in the house. Is the Apple phone waterproof? You mean the Apple Watch? The new iPhones are, can go in the pool. I mean, they're water resistant or whatever you might want to call them. Yeah, they can. You can submerge an iPhone, the new iPhones, I think. Kyle's in the house. Maybe we should ask Chris to come on with Steve next time. Absolutely. Kevin D, it's IP67, I think, but not waterproof, just splash. Okay. Kyle Jet, guys, remember Carlos tested his iPhone on camera, dropped it into the pool live. Cheetown hangs out with some real genius with fragile masculinities. Okay. Carlos, Kyle, iPhone is resisting saltwater well too. That old Rolex has more stretch than grandma's panties. And the lovely Brief Dance says classy. I wonder which one she was talking about. I wonder if she was talking about the Omega. And Leslie says, haha. And Leslie says, hi to Bree. And Kyle's in the house. Carlos has a robust iPhone. And the lovely Bree says, hi to Leslie. Durr's in the house. $6,500 for that old stretched out Rolex. That's ridiculous. Make them an offer for $500. $500. Ooh, okay. Mr. Q, he wants a deal. Mr. Q, vintage Rolexes are like ex-wives. Time to move on kind of experience, unless the model was hot. Okay. Brief It Dance says, nice piece. I wonder which one she's talking about. Mr. Q is on point here. Okay. Deployants are a must for straps. I agree. I love mine. Let's see. Cheat Town. I couldn't pull off a Date 840. It's way too heavy for my thin wrists. And Kevin says, yes, I'm sorry, meant iWatch. Yeah, the new iWatches can go in the water. Kyle's in the house, but he said he had problems with his. His took a dump in the hot tub, I think. Kyle says, wrist size matters. I like Brett's date just size. I wouldn't want bigger for my wrist. There you go. Kevin, Apple Watch resists sweat and splashes, but is not waterproof. I wouldn't take one in the pool or the. No, they claim you can swim with it. They show in their ads people swimming with it. Absolutely do. The new ones, not the older ones. Craig, what's the verdict on Chuck Taylor basketball shoes? I used to wear them way, way, way back in the day when they were about the only basketball shoes you could buy, right? And they worked, but I wouldn't buy them like as a thing to wear around doing other things, right? I mean, I don't wear like athletic shoes when I'm out and about. I wear them when I'm doing athletics. If I'm playing tennis, I wear tennis shoes. So that's how that whole thing works. The tennis shoes, if you wear them a lot, they tend to get stinky. They're kind of nasty. Like a lot of stuff that's made in China is kind of nasty, in my opinion. Just my opinion. Kyle Jet, Brett's Rolex is stunning. Well, duh, yeah. Okay, we got that. Kyle's in the house. Kevin, my $800 water resistant outlet broke in the jacuzzi. They won't look at it until I pay them $200. Whoa, that's not good. They treated you greasy. They took you hard, Kyle. Normally their customer service is pretty good, but they took you hard. Cheat Town's in the house. Kyle Jet, you're not worried about some overheating buddy in the bar with swollen wrists calling you a girl for wearing a 36 mil? Hey, let me tell you something. What was the guy's name, the gangster on HBO that wore one? You remember. He wore a 36 mil Date 8. A lot of tough cookies have worn 36 mil Date 8s over the years, so I don't think that's an issue. Lance is in the house. Craig, what are your thoughts on Flieger? What? Show me one. Send me a link. You know the drill. Big dinner plates on the wrist and in front of them. Okay. My dog is named Skinny, and she doesn't wear basketball shoes. Okay. Stink is named Stinky. Okay. So there's the 231 Stunner, the 231 Stunner. And yeah, I mean, I think I've got the perfect rotation. I really do. I don't know. I'm not really, I don't really have a wandering eye right now. I've got the 002 stunner on wrist, and I've got the 231 on deck. I think that Tony Soprano. That's right. That's right. Absolutely. He was literally a killer, right? Wasn't that the deal? So let's do a wrist roll on the 002. Let's get it in focus here. There we go. Pretty awesome if you ask me. Like I say, that guy that was bitching about the finishing, I guess he's got, sharper eyes than me and Kyle. But really, I get I get it that many people like large watches, just not for me. It's a fad. It'll pass. It'll pass because it's ridiculous to wear large watches. It makes no sense. They're just not comfortable. They look silly, and it's like any fad that makes no sense. It will pass. Like everybody getting eat up with tattoos all over their bodies and stuff. 10 years from now, people will be laughing at all that nonsense. And the nose rings, the lip rings, and all these piercings and all this stuff. All the multiple piercings along the eyebrow, and like 16 piercings on the ear, all the way up around the ear, and those huge things where they stretch and they put a big hole in their earlobes, right? All those fads are going to go away. All generally speaking, things that that youngsters do, right, that don't make any sense, eventually they go away, right? As fads. That's how that whole thing works. Just to give you guys a little bit of a backstory on how those kinds of things work. Okay, let's take a look. I love how I have to suffer with an oversized dinner plate watch because a bunch of guys out there can't control their appetites and sodium intake. I think Craig needs to pick up another Rolex for a third piece in the rotation. Maybe. Lance is in the house, sent a photo. Kyle says, I've been to 2 Apple stores with my watch. It is bricked. It won't power up at all. Both stores required me to make a genius appointment with some moron. Both idiots told me the same thing. The only oversized watches I would consider wearing are G-Shocks, and that's because they are lightweight and on straps. Okay. Durr says, I think 40 millimeter is the new 36 millimeter for the foreseeable future. I don't know about that. Okay, let's see. Kyle's in the house. Send it back for further evaluation at a cost of $200. That is before any repairs that might be needed. Yeah, I guess you're done with the whole Apple Watch thing. I'm gathering that's the situation there. All right, let's take a look. Lance sent a photo. Yeah, it doesn't really, I don't see any real benefit here to wearing that watch. I just don't see a plus here. I think I would kind of pass on that. And I might comment that I would also pass on whatever that is he's wearing in the way of a canvas shirt or whatever the heck that is, and some kind of a canvas jacket that look like they're kind of marginal at best. So I'd kind of pass on that whole situation there. Just a little thumbs up, little heads up on that. Not a thumbs up, a thumbs down on that. Oh man, look at the way the gold, even in the clasp. See how it catches the light? I mean, either way, the clasp, right, or the watch, either way, it catches the freaking light. I mean, geez, are you kidding me? Yeah. Let's see. Cheetown says, apparently stainless steel is also the new white gold. Durr says, flush that lacquer down the toilet with 2 turds on top of it for good measure. Okay. Yeah, that's a full pass on that one, I guess. That's where we are. And Kyle says, I like 40 millimeter for a dive watch. Yeah, obviously a big watch for a sport watch is a whole different thing, right? And the thing about the 43 mil that you're seeing on the screen right now is it really does wear more like a 40 mil, just because of the way the case is shaped, the way it kind of wraps around your wrist, and the lug-to-lug on it and everything, and just the way the bracelet's designed, it does wear more like a 40 mil. And because, of course, it's so lightweight also, that helps add to the comfort. So, yeah, I don't, obviously, I wouldn't own it if I didn't think a big sport watch made sense. I think a big sport watch does make sense because it really makes a statement. It's got a presence to it. It's extremely legible. That's one of the reasons why I bought it, because it's so freaking legible. And yeah, absolutely, absolutely. But we've plowed that ground before. Let's see. At Kyle, just 40 millimeters fine for a sport watch, but I don't like my dress watches to be the same size. They look tacky to me. A 38 to 39 mil, perfect size in my opinion. Yep, this one's 38 and a half mils. Kyle Jet says absolutely. All right, now let's see what else we're going to look at here. Let's go back. Let's go back and look at another image. Let me try to find another image that's not quite as underexposed. Let's go back to the album here. And let's see what we can find. I kind of like this picture that shows the side of the case. I like the side view of this case. So let's take a look here. I just think that looks so freaking elegant. So freaking elegant. So let's look at that a little closer. Let's see here. View all sizes. Let's look at. Let's go all the way up. Let's go to the biggie. Let's go to the biggie. The biggie. It looks a little bit soft when you zoom in that much. It's a little bit too much. And you can see every little speck of dust. But I love that brushing on the side. I think it just adds a lot of class to it. Okay, so let's look at it at this size. See what this looks like. Yeah. Yeah, that's even a little bit better. Now let's look at it. Let's go down one more. Let's go here. Yeah. Yeah. See, that's where this watch really looks great from the side. When you see it from the side, especially on the crown side, you see the beautiful shape of that case, you see that brushing element, and you see the signed crown, the nice, robust signed crown. I don't know, folks. Tell me am I delusional here, or is that just absolutely stunning? Absolutely stunning. Bree, absolutely Skype in. My goodness, you know you're welcome to Skype in. We're talking about classy, gorgeous things, and of course you can Skype in. My goodness. Absolutely. I will answer the phone when you Skype. Let me make sure I got Skype. Yeah, I got Skype running. Let's see. My sweet spot is 36 to 38 millimeters for dress and 39 to 41 millimeter for sports watches. Cheetown. Dur's in the house. I like my watches like my women. Busty. There you go. Sturfer and a bit top heavy for sure. Tyler's in the house. Rolex Daytona 18 karat gold for $38,000 versus the SBGY002 for $25,000. Rolex Daytona 18 karat for $38,000. Can you buy them for 30? Is that what they are? I thought they were more than that. But in any event, I would definitely take the 002. Yeah, but I'm not a Daytona guy. I don't like the chronograph. It's just too busy for me. So personally, I would rather have a solid gold Yachtmaster. A Yachtmaster in 18 karat gold. Do they still make the Yachtmaster in all gold, or did they with the on a bracelet and all, or did they discontinue that? Lance says, Craig, if GS made a 231 in 18 karat gold, would you buy? I've been asked that question before. No, I think it would be too heavy. I think it would be uncomfortable on wrist. So no, I don't think I would. I don't think I would. Let's see. Now, if they came out with a smaller sport watch, a smaller version of that watch, let's say they came out with one that was like even 40 mils, you know, a 40 mil version that was thinner. Let's call it, let's say they could get it down with the new movement that they came out with. Let's say they could get it down to 12.5 mils thick, right? That watch there on an all gold bracelet. That would be very tempting, because if they could get it down to 12.5 mils thick and it was 40 mils, that could be pushed into all-around territory. That could be forced into an all-arounder situation, I think. And they would have to make the class more trim, right? A little more elegant, more trim. But if they could pull all that off, then that would be something worth considering, right? Get it down into more like the size that would be an all-arounder type thing. Let's see. You know what would be interesting would be if they offered the 005 GMT, the 9F powered, the 005. If they offered that in all gold with a 5-link bracelet, with the bracelet like that watch has, right? A 5-link bracelet in all gold, because that's the perfect size, right? And it's nice and trim, and it's a GMT. It's already got a gorgeous dial on it. They could offer that puppy in 18 karat gold. That would be very tempting as an all-arounder. Very, very tempting. What do you guys think about that? How's that for radical thoughts? Talk about robust. If it had the 9F movement, how robust would that be? Let's see. Kevin says, if the new iWatch is waterproof, I think it would be the way to go for Bree. We've got to see if it'll fit on her wrist. That's the you don't understand how small her wrist is. We've got to see if it will fit on her. If it'll fit on her wrist, I think we're going to get her one of those, and then we'll get her something nice also to have in rotation with it. But because I think she should have both. Here she comes. Here she comes. We'll ask her. We'll ask the lovely Bree. We'll ask the lovely Bree firsthand. Hello, hello, hello. Hello.
Yes.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good, good, good. You look kind of sporty with the hair, kind of like what do you call that when you put like something in it and it looks like that? What do you call that look?
Oh, I'm not sure. I guess sporty. 'Cause I just took a shower.
Yeah, it's just kind of like the relaxed, like out of the pool look type of thing. Yeah. Okay. Very good. Okay.
Got my
So they have a they mentioned something in the chat. They're saying that maybe the new Apple Watch would be a good option for you, and I was saying that we would probably, if it would fit her properly on her wrist, that we'll definitely get her an Apple Watch, but she probably should also have a nice watch to have in rotation with it.
so like two.
So when you dress up or something like that, you know, you want something a little more elegant. What do you think?
Yeah. That's a good that's a good plan. Apple Watch and something like classy.
Now, remember, next time you go to the Walmart, you got to try and see if they'll let you try on the smaller, because Apple Watch comes in
Well,
two sizes. So
right.
see if they'll
I
let
gotta make
you
notes of
see
that.
see if they'll let you try on the small Apple Watch and see if it fits.
Small Apple Watch.
Yeah,
Right.
and then we'll kind of have more information to go on. So you said earlier that you were practicing with the hoop.
Yeah,
Are you getting a little better
I
with it?
know I know how to do the isopop now.
Okay. All right. All
Yeah.
right. So how soon are you
I
going to
actually made a video on TikTok.
doing the isopop? All right. I'll have to check it out. I'll have to check it
Yeah.
out. Okay. All right. So what else are you up to?
Just editing videos and just staying active as I can.
Now,
I mean, right now it's like raining.
are you expanding on your exercise program? I remember I told you to increase the number of
Yeah,
reps
two times a day.
2 times a day, but like when you're doing like arms and everything, you need to do more reps. You need to push.
Yeah, I am pushing. It's
Okay.
hard, but I am pushing.
Okay. And do you feel like you're making progress?
Yeah,
Okay.
definitely. And I can see like results like right here.
You you,
Oh,
you feel after you do it, do you feel kind of sore like the next day or whatever? I mean, do you because if you don't feel sore, you're not really quite pushing yourself hard enough.
some days I do get sore, but like some days I don't.
Okay.
But I think that's because I'm getting used to it. Is that what it
Okay.
is?
So it does, yeah, but that means you need to push even harder.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
because that soreness means you're making progress,
that's true.
just so you know. Okay, so let's catch up on the comments here. Lance says, Craig, if GS made a 231 and 18 karat gold, okay, I already answered that. If the new iWatch is waterproof, would it be a way to go for free? We talked about that. Craig, what shave soap do you use? Um, I'll have to check and see, um, but I'll be able to check on that. Let's see. They don't make that. I don't think. I've been looking. They don't make what? Oh, an 18 karat gold. Okay, yeah, no. Okay, so all right. So what else? What do you want to demonstrate anything for us? Do you have any kind of a dance move you've been working on, or anything that you can demonstrate for us? Oh, we lost your audio. There we
Oh, is
go.
that better?
Oh yeah.
Okay, sorry about that. All right. I can maybe do like a hoop kind of demonstration.
Okay. Do you have enough room there?
I think so.
Okay. Let's do it. Let's
Okay.
do it.
You can see me.
Yeah, your head's cut off though a little bit. Maybe you need to tilt it up just a little bit. Okay, good. That should be good. All right, perfect. Yeah. All right, here we go.
And then you go that. You turn it. You add this hand.
Mm-hmm.
You circle, and then you stop there.
Okay. All right. So go ahead and do it all in one move.
Okay, let's see. We're here, 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 here.
Okay. Now, can you do the isolation where you're just kind of facing straight to the camera and you do that thing with the hoop? You know what I'm talking about?
Um, I think it's like that.
It's yeah, and you sort of do a couple of moves and it looks like the hoop is moving around, but it's not really. You know what I mean? I think you're going to have to watch some of the tutorials and then you'll be able to
I
do it.
know like the half moon is like this,
Okay.
but I still don't know how to do
Okay.
the
You're
fast.
still working on. Yeah, that's sort of like it. That's the move. Yeah, and then you move the other hand and what happens is it optically looks like the hoop is kind of like hovering in midair when you do it, right?
Oh, okay, like this.
Sort of. Yeah, yeah. And
I
what
know
you
what.
want to do is you want to watch, I think Audrey even has a tutorial on it. Yeah, yeah, that you're getting very close. And once you see how it works, trust me, you'll get it down. And it's really cool looking
It
to
is.
do an if you really do an isolation right. And I'll tell you what you might also want to look at is on some of the videos that I did of the hoop dancers at Siesta Beach at the drum circle. Look at the
Yeah.
one with Jenny Malik. Okay? She really was good at doing isolations. Just awesome isolations. So I would definitely look at the videos of her. Just search on my channel, Jenny Malik,
Okay.
and you'll see. Yeah, that's the idea. You're starting to get the idea, and once you get it down, it's awesome looking.
Yeah, it's a lot
So
of practice, but I
yeah,
think I can do it.
okay, all right. Well, thank you for calling in. I will. You earned it. I'll show your website.
Okay, thank you.
All right.
But
Any?
it's thundering. It's thundering still.
Oh,
It's
I'm
like,
sure. Anything else?
yeah.
Anything else that you want to? Anything else you want to share?
To check out my social media
Tilt your camera
links.
back down. Yeah, there you go. Remember, you're not supposed to have headroom over your head. The framing is supposed to be like right at your head. Yeah, that's close enough. Maybe a little bit more because that's actually touching your hair. Yeah, there you go. There you go. Okay,
Yeah,
and
just to
Dur
check out my website and see all my social media and Patreon.
Dur says, let's see some of the hoop progress. Okay, we did that. And Steve says, Craig, you're a hard taskmaster. And Bree hasn't seen anything yet. She's talking about coming here to go through the boot camp, and
Yes.
if she does that, it will be really difficult.
Yeah, I feel like it's gonna be like a real boot camp, like
It'll
military.
it will be you will be pushing hard all day, every day.
Right.
It will be intense.
No relax.
Yeah, it will be intense. So yeah, but I think you'll make a lot of progress.
And have a lot of like knowledge,
I
like
think so.
experience, knowledge. So
I think so.
I think it's worth it.
Well, you're going to find out. It'll be like anybody else that goes through boot camp. You'll either burn out and what do they say when somebody fails in boot camp? What's the term they use? Maybe they'll let
Like
us know in the chat what they call it. I forget the term they use for people that bust out, that fail out of boot camp. They'll put it in the chat. I don't remember the actual term, but yeah, that's what happens. People either are successful and get all the way through, right? Or they don't. They fail. They wash out. I think that's the term, wash out. And then there might be other terms too. But
wash out or
wa-
wash.
how do you pronounce when you're washing dishes? It's washing, right? There's no R in it, right? Some people say washing and like there's an R. You're supposed to say washing, I guess. I think I pronounce it wrong a lot of times.
Oh, okay.
I think that's a Maryland thing. But yeah, they wash out, not wash out, wash out. Okay. So and Dur says something about recycled. Ha ha
Recycled.
ha. And and Dur made fun of it. Warsh, WARSH, right? It's wash. I don't know why some of us I don't know if that's a Mid-Atlantic region thing, the Warsh, putting an R in there, right? There is no R in Warsh, right? But a lot of us say it that way. So anyway, I don't think you're going to wash out or either one. I think you're going to make it through.
I think so too. I have a feeling I will.
I think you're going to be a shining success. I've been
I hope
doing a
so.
lot of research, by the way, lately. I've been watching
On success.
documentaries of really successful people. I'm watching one right now on YouTube about Westinghouse, the guy that started Westinghouse. He was one of the robber barons, from the 1800s that built this country. Him and Rockefeller and Carnegie and all those guys. But Westinghouse was like a nice guy. He wasn't as ruthless as others, right? He was still very, very successful, but he was also a nice guy. But his story is amazing. He's the one that basically brought electricity to the masses. He was the first
Oh,
one, and he had a war with Edison. Thomas Edison, he wanted everybody to use DC current. There was what they called the current wars, right, where he was promoting DC current, and Westinghouse was a champion of alternating current. And a man by the name of Tesla went to work for Westinghouse, and they are the ones that developed the ways to use alternating current. And they ended up prevailing because alternating current can be transmitted a long distance over what they call the high tension wires, the big wires that are high up in the air, where they can transport AC current at very high voltages over long distances. You can't do that with DC current. DC current can only go very short distances. So that's why the AC current ended up being the standard and ended up being what we all use today. And they had I believe it was Chicago. They had a World's Fair, and Tesla and Westinghouse, they got the contract to light it up. And it was like the first World's Fair that was like in the 1800s, right? It was the first one that was actually lit up, right? And they got the contract to do it with AC current. And that was what allowed them to win the currency wars and to beat Edison out, was because they successfully lit that World's Fair, and literally millions of people saw it and saw the lights and everything, and were just fascinated, right? Because remember, before that, you had to have like a kerosene lantern in your house to read at night, right?
and fire, I think.
Yeah, there were no light bulbs, right? There's no electricity in your house,
Yeah,
right? So I mean, these people just they just changed the world,
they
and
did.
made it a better place, made it what it is today. And this is what the lovely Brianna's going to do. You're gonna have as much impact as these amazing people. What
Wow.
do you think about that?
I I can't I
You
can't imagine that, but I
you
think I
you got you
can
got to
work
think
at
you got to think big. You got to think
it.
big, Bree. Right?
Yeah.
Think big or go home. All right, we're gonna wrap up. Let's see the comments here to make sure we've got it down pat here. Durs in the house. Some people say uh, pillow instead of pillow. Yeah, milk instead of milk. LOL. And Durr says Westinghouse wasn't that large scale CD selling company that used to send out all those catalogs in the mail, like buy 10 CDs, get 10. I don't know if Westinghouse did that, but he was a big deal. He had a lot of patents, a lot of inventions. Where he really came to fame, Bree, this is kind of interesting to think about this, is the railroad industry was a big deal in the mid 1800s. And it was a really big deal during the Civil War and so on, right? And one of the problems with trains, people don't understand this was the situation, is they were very dangerous. There were a lot of bad train crashes. And the reason was they had what they called brakemen, where they had, let's say they had an engine and then they had like 15 train cars, right? They would have brakemen that would literally ride up on top of the train and would climb down and crank these big cranks to manually apply the brakes when they needed to slow the train down. And they'd literally go from car to car and apply these brakes, right? And and it was a very dangerous job. A bunch of them got killed, right, doing this stuff. And it
Oh,
was difficult to stop the freaking trains, right? So the trains would crash. I mean, it was very dangerous. The whole situation was dangerous, right? And so Westinghouse invented air brakes for trains where they would have a mechanism where compressed air would push through and stop the trains. And so now the conductor from the engine could pull a brake thing and literally apply brakes on all the train cars and stop the freaking train, right? And it made a huge difference in safety. And they put them on passenger trains first because it was kind of expensive to put it on. And some of the freight train companies didn't want to do it because it was so expensive, right? And so they resisted as long as possible doing this upgrade on the brakes. And so they kept crashing and having people kept dying, you know. And eventually the government did step in and say, you have to put these freaking brakes on the trains, right? And so, you know, it's just kind of fascinating the way these things happened and the way they came about and how people like Westinghouse stepped up, you know, and found solutions for problems. And as a result, they made a lot of money. So, yeah, so there's your history lesson for the
yeah, good
day.
for them.
History lesson for the day. All right, folks, we're going to wrap this puppy up and I'm going to eat. I'm going to eat something. And Bree's going to keep
Me too.
exercising and practicing. And she's going to, next time she comes on, she's going to have an isolation for us.
Yeah.
All right, make that job one, figuring out how to do that isolation. I don't care how many tutorials you have to watch and practice and
Oh my God,
how
yeah.
many hours you need to
Lot of
practice. You
tutorials.
need to do it. You need to do it. Okay, I guess Kamala Harris is talking, so Mr. Q is going to go watch her. Okay, good luck with all that. All right, we're going to wrap this puppy up. Thank you for calling in,
All right, thank you.
the lovely Bree. And I'm going to show
Bye.
your website, and then I'm going to show the soap that I use for shaving. So I will show them that because they asked that.
Okay.
And
Okay.
thank you very much.
No problem.
All right, that was the lovely Bree calling in live. Let's show the 231 stunner. I'm going to get the soap. Oh, actually, I'm going to show her website while I go get the soap. I'm going to show the lovely Bree's website. I promised I would do that. I keep my promises if I remember. If I remember, I keep my promises. Okay, I'll be right back. Okay. All right. I've already used a couple of these. These came in a set, okay? And they're different flavors or whatever. Different scents, I guess, not flavors. You're not going to eat them, right? So, yeah, this is the brand. I'll show you. So that's what I've been using. And I did have one other one. I forget the brand of it, but it's similar type thing. And I think they're all okay. If you get decent quality shave soap, something that's made specifically for shaving, I think you're going to be fine. I think it's going to work out. So there you go. And I have the bowl I have for it came from these folks that I bought my razors from, Timeless Razor. And I really like it. I'll show you what it is, and they're reasonable. Let me go to Timeless Razor. Timeless Razor. Da 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 da. Let's see here. Here we go. Dun, 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 dun. I will show this to you once it loads in. Okay. So this is the Timeless Razor plastic shaving bowl. It really works well because the ribs in it, I have the blue one, but because of the ribs that are in it, it really lathers up the soap nicely, and it's a good size. It's not too small. See these ribs in the bottom? I like it. I like it. They sell good stuff. Let's go back to all products. And I'll show you the razor that I'm using now. The one I'm using now, this is the one I just showed you is the stainless steel. But the one that I'm using now is, let's see if this loads in. This website is loading slow. I don't know what the heck is going on. Okay, here we go. The one I'm using now is the titanium. Build your own titanium. Yeah. Now the one I have now is the polished one. Let's see here. Smooth, scalloped. Oh, I think I have smooth. Yes, the cap. And then the base plate, I have... Is it solid? I think it's solid. I'm not sure. Blade gap. I think I have the mild. Stand. Yes. Finish. Polished. And Armed Forces, this discount. Okay. So yeah, that brings it up to $315. So that's the unit that I have, is I have the titanium. And I'll tell you what, it is amazing. It's an amazing razor. Now the stainless, this one here, is also amazing. And I have the aluminum one, and I also have the bronze one. And the aluminum one I keep in the shower all the time, and it works great. Now this is timelessrazor.com. I love their razors. I really do. Okay, some also say crick instead of creek. There you go. All right, we're going to wrap this puppy up. Let's go back and show the Lovely Breeze website one more time. And we'll call it a day.